Thanks everyone for joining the channel today. I've got the unboxing of my newest radio, the Spektrum iX14. Normally I would take it out of the box and just, go ahead and go through it. However, I wanted to take this one out of the main box that it came when it was shipped. Normally you don't see a box this big. However, this one comes with the gray protective case, so the box is a lot bigger. When the FedEx guy brought this today, I was like, man, why is that box so big? And I forgot that it had the upgraded protected case with it. So when you get the shipment box and it comes like this, you might be surprised, as I was when I got it. So we're going to take the wrapping out of here, and it's actually in a normal size box. So that's interesting. I figured it would be in a much smaller box than that, just similar to the size of the actual box. You can see the difference between the two. That's got the protective material on the outside. I'm going to just open this up. And I'm looking at it firsthand. I've not seen one of these radios on display anywhere. I've not got to see one in person, so this is all new experience for me opening up this box. So, take the outside off here. And there it is. So I guess the protective case is in here. The first radio I think they did that with was the NX10 SE, and I don't have that radio. I've just got the normal NX10, so I didn't get to see that, but I just figured it was going to maybe come in that case since it was a lot bigger box than what I anticipated. So open up there, and yeah, there's the case. So when you open this box, it's got the handle right there. You just slide it out. Got some other stuff in the box here. So it's going to come with your stickers. You can smack that on your transmitter case if you have one, and then your instruction manuals, warranty card, everything to get it registered. Speaking of registering, the thing that you want to do is get this thing out of the box and get it registered. That way, if you have a warranty claim or something going on, you can get that done. So when I open this up, there's these little tabs on the front here. So you just click those open, and it will release these little pins or little clips, and then you just open it straight up. So I'll show you all that on camera there. Just pull those out, open the box up, and there we go. New radio. Let's take it out of the small packaging here. And we'll just start with that since that's the most important piece. Man, getting a radio. So there it is, the iX14. We've got a, looks like, little pouch that it came with. That's interesting. I guess you can put your tools and stuff in there. Cable, lanyard, an Allen head. And everything's molded in there. And all that stuff was in the side here, so it was down in here. Everything was in this one little pocket. So you've got, and the pouch was here. So you've got a few other places where you want to put some additional stuff in there. You can. Not sure about being foam, holding up, taking it to the field. I guess you can take it to the field with no problem in that case. However, I've got a Spektrum hard transmitter case. I'll probably throw it in there, but let's check out the radio. Man, it's got a nice feel to it. It's pretty compact. Feels much more compact than the older radio, especially with the antenna and everything. And then the switches, I really like the ergonomics of this radio just starting off. So let me take the camera to the test bench and give y'all a closer look with me, and we'll look at this together and kind of compare. And I'll actually might go ahead and power it up too and see what we got. So give me just a moment. I'll get everything reset camera wise, and we'll look at this radio together. So let's look at the radio up close together. as I mentioned, feel of this radio, it feels very compact, similar to the NX series. However, it's kind of hard to explain. There's a little bit of a contour on the side, the perforated grips, and then the grips on the back feel a little different. It kind of feels like a slimmed down version of the iX12. Like it just, the way that everything's laid out too, the controls, they seem really ergonomic the way that they're positioned. It doesn't feel cramped even though the radio feels kind of smaller. I mean, truly feels like a mini iX20 case, maybe even a little bit better. You can see we got the accessories here. Came with a little pouch. It's got the lanyard, and you'll notice that where the lanyard clips on the iX14, it actually has a metal, or I guess that would be aluminum fitting on here instead of the normal where it's just one single hook. And you'll notice, or it's one single loop, and you'll notice that it's actually got two holes on this one, so you can actually adjust it a little bit. They've got the trims a little bit different than the normal NX radios, similar to the other iX radios. The antenna looks like the antenna folds down flat, so for transportation, and it doesn't go past the handle, so you can put this in your existing cases, and it flips up a little bit, probably for better reception, because they tell you in the owner's manuals to flip those up and have them up at an angle. So I know what you're thinking, BD, stop talking, fire that thing up. So let's do it. Let's fire this thing up, and then we'll go from there. So it's the first, powering on for the first time. Let's see what it does. And you'll notice that we've got our other accessories up here. We've got the charge cable, and I like what they've done on this one. They did like the NX radios, the NX10 and the NX10 SE. They put the magnetic charge cable. So you can just leave that little plug in the back of it, and when you leave that little plug in the back, you can just magnetic on and off plug in the cord. So now it's already powered up. Let's go ahead and go there. I'm just going to leave the sticker on there for now. It's not really a big deal. But let's power up the actual airware. And this is how you control the airplane. You put your models in here. This is all your settings. It's everything to do. This is a smart radio. And so it's got, you know, apps and stuff like that on it. Lower the throttle down. And that display is really nice. Now it's a little bright on the camera, but the lines and stuff are really crisp. The display, just everything looks really good on there. Boot up time was pretty quick. It seemed like it was less than about 40 seconds or so. Previous version iX12 took, you know, quite a bit of time to fire it up. So something I want to point out at first is, yes, it is a smart radio, computer radio, you know, a couple ways to describe it. You don't have to use the apps and stuff on this radio. If you just want a solid 14 channel radio, Spektrum radio, I mean, it does that too, because what I would tell you is there's some other features that these radio does that the other Spektrum radios don't, in like the NX line. For example, you've got the bigger screen. You know, the NXs, they talk about how you can't hardly see the screen. If you notice, some of my videos, I actually came up with my own palette, and it's not as bad. However, this is a much better screen. Having used the iX12 before this radio, you know, I can tell you firsthand the screen difference in seeing this outside. The other thing is you have touchscreen, so you can navigate more efficiently. And with the touchscreen, when you go in and type in like the name of a model or something, like let me click up top here. We're going to hold down proceed. We're going to go into here, and I'm going to click on the writing, and you'll notice, I kind of get on camera, like I say, it's kind of tough because this camera, you'll see on the keyboard there, it's on the screen, so you can actually type in what you want. So I'm going to back up and just change this to test. So you can see you can navigate faster because of that. I'm going to go back to the main screen here, and I'll leave it like this just for a moment so y'all can see it up close. Seems like the camera's picking that up a little bit better. You got your UI on this is going to be more graphic, better detailed. Just looking at, logos like the battery icon there, you can see how it's more crisp. The numbers are more crisp. I mean, just overall better clarity, better sharpness on everything on the screen. You see you got your monitor there. As far as the radio itself, like I mentioned, it feels really nice. The way that they've changed it up, how sleek the radio is, it just feels like they made it like a mini iX20 and, gave you some more features over the iX14. I mean, over the iX12. You can see the switches there. Those are pretty much standard, but if y'all get a chance to look at one of these radios, when you feel it in your hand, you're going to be able to tell a difference. And on the back here, you've got the normal serial port or the trainer port. You got a headphone jack. The looks like SD card plugs into the back instead of the bottom, so that's kind of nice. You don't have to mess with the bottom of the radio. You can have it sitting upright and just install the card. And then this is a big plus. They went to USB-C. The previous one had mini USB or micro USB on that one, and it was a different plug. A lot of stuff's going to USB-C, and I like that because the cable's getting easier to find, but also there's some benefits as far as speed and charging capabilities with that. So I'm very glad that they actually changed that out. As I mentioned, this has got the plug where you can just plug that in the back, and that fitting will stay in the back, so it's magnetic. Definitely a big plus on the charging. So I just want to do a brief overview and show you what I noticed so far, mainly on the outside, but a little bit on, talking about the screen there and everything. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and follow the channel. Appreciate y'all watching today, and we'll see you on the next one.